Today we're going to talk about calming our inner critics. And yes, I did have put an S on the end of that one because often we have more than one. Last week we talked about the 7 different types of inner critics. And I don't know about you, but when I looked through them, for sure there was more than one for me. Um, it's those voices in your head that are, judging us, telling us we're not good enough, telling us that we need to be perfect, that don't try that. Something might happen, whatever. And what's crazy is they actually have a positive intention, right? We talked about this too. They really, really just want to keep us safe. They want to keep us from feeling judged, keep us from, getting into any sort of harm's way. If we get too big, something might happen, and they want to keep us safe. They want to protect us. And so it's sort of counterintuitive. They do it, and they have this distorted way of stopping us from doing anything just with the power of their voice, because really they have no physical power over us. All they do is talk in our heads. And they stop us from doing things. They stop us from moving forward. They stop us from really achieving things that we could, the goodness that we could achieve, because they're so focused on what might go wrong. So the last thing we want to do is let the inner critic get into the driver's seat, take control of the wheel and sort of lead our lives. What we want to do is really calm that inner critic, really start understanding it and becoming friends with it, and in a pinch, just dealing with it as the best we can. So today what I want to do is talk about some really simple ways to calm your inner critic, or to sort of calm that voice anyways, just as a starter. But first, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nancy Brooker. I am a relationship and stress coach. I help women who are stuck in a challenging relationship, whether it's with a partner or a child or a coworker, whatever that might be, to just become more clear about whatever it is that's keeping them stuck in their lives, and stopping them from working, what's stopping them from working through whatever it is that they want to get to, from getting to that spot. And so we work through that together to clear those blocks and to get you where you want to go, bringing more calm and clarity and connection into your life so that you can experience your relationships with more joy and ease and laughter and fun. So let's talk about some ways to calm your inner critic. Step number 1 is really all about noticing. Now, I think we talk about this one all the time because it's really about becoming self-aware, about paying attention, about noticing what is going on around us, and in this case, what that inner critic is saying. Because I never like to speak too loud, right? It's always sort of under the radar, subconscious, obviously, and sometimes we just go straight from the thought of, oh, that would be fun, to, oh no, I can't do that, and we don't even stop to think, well, what just happened there? What was going on? Why did I just completely discount that right away? So it might be just taking that moment to stop and listen and go, okay, well, what did happen there? What was my critic saying? What did when was it? Well, when was that happening, right? And is that familiar to me? What does that remind me of? So it might be like, I really want to learn how to play tennis, and but oh, I'm not athletic. I won't do very well. What do people think? I'm gonna look, I don't know, spazzy or whatever the word is. I'm gonna look funny. No, I'm not gonna do that. And again, it's just trying to keep us safe. It's trying to keep us from failing and to keep us from trying. So we just really need to start noticing that and understanding where it's coming from, and reminding ourselves that just because that's what's being said in our head, it doesn't mean that that's actually what the truth is. I once had a teacher say to me, I think I was in grade 5 or grade 6, I had a teacher write in a report card that I had taken a summer school, a bunch of us took a gym class for summer school for fun. And my teacher had written, Nancy should pursue other interests other than athletics or something like that. And I was devastated. I mean, I wasn't really the most coordinated kid in town anyways, but I was having fun. And I couldn't believe somebody would say that. And, I actually turned around and did the opposite of what he said, and joined every sport I could think of. And I wasn't great at any of them, but I had fun. And so, but I still hear, even today when I try something, I can still hear his voice, not even just related to that, but related to other things. So it's interesting where these things come from. Try giving your inner critic a nickname. So, for example, if it's a judgy inner critic, oh, here comes Judgy Judy. What does Judgy Judy have to say about, this? My name is Nancy. So it might be like, no, there's no fun Nancy again. She's trying to stop me from, trying this new thing or whatever that is. So sometimes it's, when you give it a funny name, it's harder to take it as seriously. And, funny name could be a funny voice. So if you hear that voice in your head, you could do a few things. You can actually say the words out loud, and just saying them out loud, you might be like, well, that's not really true. Like whatever it is, that's just not a truth. So it's easier to try something different when you say it out loud, and acknowledge that, oh, that's not truth. Or you could do something like change the pitch of the voice, or change the, make it squeaky, make it nasally, or, whatever you want to do, something like that. It's harder to take it seriously, right? Another thing you could do is take a negativity break. And I love this for a lot of different things, but I think it's cool for an inner critic, where as you notice these things come up, you say, hey, okay, I hear ya, I know you're there, but your time is between 11 and 11:10 on Thursday mornings, or whatever, or every day from 11 to 11:10. So we can talk about that tomorrow. File it away and move on with your day, doing whatever. And then at 11 o'clock, you get your piece of paper out and you go, okay, inner critic, go to town. What do you want to say? And often you'll find that it doesn't really have anything to say, but it sort of condenses it, gives it less time to constantly be in your head, and still be heard. So some people find that useful. And you can question what your inner critic is saying, because a lot of times there's flaws in the reasoning, and we tend to think about the times that are true, like, no, if you try that, you're going to fail. We forget about all the times that we tried something different and it worked out really well. So we need to maybe remind ourselves of those times too, to sort of help make a bridge between what they're saying and what your actual reality is or has been, and what the potential is. Another thing you could do is replace the words. So you could think about, and actually you could combine this with the work that you did when you had your negativity break. So whatever was said during the negativity break, you could then sort of make it into a positive. So something like, I'm going to do a really terrible job on that school paper. You might say, well, I did a really good job on the last paper I wrote, or I did a good job on this paper in this other class, so maybe this one will go okay. Whatever. Just try and switch it around into something more positive, more optimistic. So, the one thing I want you to remember is that, that inner critic didn't start overnight in your head. It's been building and building and building over many years of experience. You can see that one for me. I think I was in grade 5, like I said, 5 or 6, when that voice came into my head. So, and a lot of times it's from even before that. And we have all these experiences in our lives, and this critic just gets more and more power over us. So it's not going to disappear overnight, but every little step that you take will help make a change for you. So start noticing, give it a nickname, do something with the voice, say it out loud, change the pitch, have a negativity break, start questioning what's being said, and replace the words. And who knows? Just those little steps, and even just try one of them and see what happens. And remember, you can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are, and you can absolutely change the ending. And that was from C.S. Lewis. So I hope you enjoyed today's discussion. And, you know, if you could use some help calming your inner critic, let's connect. Go to my website, www.nancybrooker.ca. Let's book a free clarity call and talk about how we can really start to calm that inner critic for you, so you can start moving towards what it is you want out of life. Make sure you grab your freebies below this video. Come, let's be friends on Living in Yes on Facebook. And I hope you all have a beautiful day and a beautiful week. Take care. Bye.